talk to us about our cultural lie of the good life and kind of the true understanding of what's going on there.
Well, one thing we should be able to see, I tell the story of several different famous people. It seems like one was Owen Wilson, and there are other people who have been in situations where everything about their lives seemed like they should be the happiest person in the world, and
Yeah.
then they attempt suicide.
Yeah.
And sometimes they not only attempt it, they succeed in
Succeed.
doing it. And so,
Yeah.
how many rock stars, how many movie stars, how many
Right.
extremely wealthy people, more wealth than we could even
Yes.
imagine,
Right.
have been miserable. And others who
Yeah.
don't take their lives are very miserable people, and
Yeah.
misery is contagious. They make the
Yeah.
people around them miserable as well.
Mm. Mm.
And they regret at the end of their lives, they're in sorrow, and they wish
Yeah.
they had lived the life differently. No one at
Yeah.
the end of their lives will look back at what they have given away to
Yes.
needy people and people who
Yeah.
needed the gospel, and
Yeah.
I am living with such regret that I gave that money away. If
Right.
only I had kept it. No, you're dying, for crying out loud, and that's
Yeah.
not what you're thinking of. You're
Yeah.
rejoicing of what you did give away.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
rejoicing in what you kept,
Yeah.
because you're gonna leave it all behind. And that's
Yes.
what a good summary, I think, or an accurate summary, what Jesus said in Matthew 6 is: you can't take it with you, but you can send it on ahead. You can't
Yes.
take that money with you. And if it's
Yes.
on earth, you're going to spend your life thinking every day I get closer to the day of my death, I'm moving
Yeah.
further from my treasure. But
Yeah.
if you're storing up your treasures in heaven through generous giving, then every day of your life, you're not moving away from your treasure. You're
Mm.
moving toward your treasure
Mm.
as you
Mm.
move toward heaven.
Mm.
Well, let me tell you just one of those stories that just popped into my mind. I think maybe the Lord want me to say this is
Yeah.
about 2 years ago. I was out one day, and I dropped by a Walgreens because I was thirsty and I wanted to go in and get a Diet Mountain Dew. Okay, I think it's Mountain Dew Zero now or whatever, and it comes in flavors. Hey, the world is moving on. But anyway, so I wanted to get that, and I went in and I looked at it, and it cost, I mean, a really unreasonable amount. I was used to buying it in larger, sizes in bigger stores and all of that. And
Yeah.
I thought, I don't want to spend that money. So I start walking back out the door. But whenever I go into a store, I ask God, okay, just give me a divine appointment. Just line me
Mm.
up if there's somebody you want me to talk with.
Yeah.
So I walk back out. I'm going back to the car, nothing in hand, didn't buy anything. And there's a young man standing out there who wasn't
Mm.
there just 2 minutes earlier when I went
Huh.
in the
Wow.
store.
Wow.
And there he is, and he's got long hair. He's obviously homeless.
Mm.
He's wearing sandals. It was summer, and it was a hot day. Probably early 30s. And I look at him, and I say, "Hi, is there anything I could get you? I mean, can I get you some water or something to eat in the store?"
Wow.
And he says, he looks at me and he says, "Are you a servant of Yeshua Adonai?"
Whoa.
Okay, so now most homeless people are not giving you the Hebrew words for are you a servant of the Lord Jesus? I would
Wow.
say in my experiences, I've talked with homeless people, that is not normally, or non-homeless people.
Right.
Nobody is
Right.
saying that to you when
Yes.
you've asked if you could get them some. And I
Mm.
said, "Yes, I am. Are you?" And he said, "Yes, I'm John." And I said, "I'm Randy." And then before I can say anything else, and before we go in the store and I get him something, he says, "I'll pray for you." And he puts his hand on my shoulder and he prays the most unbelievable prayer I've ever heard. It's one of those that you just wished you
Wow.
had it recorded. It was
Yeah.
beyond belief.
Wow.
But what hit me was I was very, very sad that day because my wife Nancy's cancer was getting worse.
Mm.
And Nancy is still with us today, but very recently her cancer has gotten a lot worse still.
Mm. Mm.
So even me telling you this story now is already bringing me to tears because
Wow.
as he prayed for me, he prayed that God would take care of me and my
Mm.
family and do
Mm.
these things in my life, all of this,
Wow.
and lots of other things in that prayer that I won't go into. But
Wow.
I was stunned because my goal was to be an encouragement to him and to give to him. Well,
Mm.
he had given to me beyond measure. And then I said, could I get you anything? Please, can I really wanted to.
Yeah.
I wanted this to be, by now I had figured out, I think this is an angel.
Yeah.
And, some have given to or hosted Angels
Yeah.
Unaware. I want to be one of those. So I want to do something for the guy. So I almost insisted in taking him in, even though it was just
Mm.
obvious he's living on the streets. He's not
Yeah.
even carrying possessions other than just a little stack of stuff, as
Yeah.
homeless people often have.
Wow.
And so took him in and uh, he got a large water and he got some what he called some healthy chips. And I go, okay, healthy chips for the kingdom. All right. So we go and I pay for it, and it was like $4.80 or whatever. We
Yeah.
go back outside, and I
Wow.
said, John, it was so great to be with you. It meant so much the way you prayed for me,
Mm.
and God really spoke into my life. And I was thinking, I think He knows all this already,
Wow.
because I just don't think this was just a homeless person,
Yeah.
even though,
Yeah.
fine, just a homeless person is still created in God's image, and it's
Right.
wonderful to minister
Right.
to them. But this, I think, this brother was sent from heaven. And so I even said to myself as I
Wow.
got into the car, John, I mean, wow. I mean, that's even a biblical name,
Right.
and uh, and it could have been Jesus taking human form. It could have been one of his angels he sends and speaks to my
Wow.
life. And I think,
Wow.
Lord, I believe I'm going to see him in heaven. Well, I went out to my car and I wept for 10 minutes, and
Wow.
God ministered to my heart and my life. So then I get back
Wow.
in the car and I'm driving home, and I'm maybe a mile up the road, and I look over at it was a Petco. And outside of the Petco building, leaning against it and drinking out of his big bottle of water, was John. And he waves at me with a smile on his face, like, see you later. And I thought, okay, Lord, so now I'm weeping again, because I'm going to see him in God's kingdom. And we are
Wow.
going to see people who we have helped in the
Wow.
smallest ways. And in his case, he helped me way more
Yes.
than how
Yes.
I helped him. But here's the
Wow.
thing, and this is where I say in that book and others, giving is an adventure. The
Mm.
good life is full of adventure. But that adventure is not just doing these incredible activities. So I
Mm.
dive and I snorkel and
Right.
I play tennis. I do lots of active things.
Right.
But I'm telling you, the real adventures are to be found in following God and doing and praying for divine appointments and
Wow.
following through and seeing what He does, not
Wow.
just for others, but what He
Yeah.
does for you.
Wow.